And good evening and welcome. It is time for high school softball. I'm Scott Harrison, part of the K-West crew who's broadcasting tonight from Weslaco East High School. We are here in South Texas, and we are bringing you district action. This is District 32-5A, and tonight it's the visiting team being out of Brownsville, and it is the Porter Cowgirls. They are 3-10 overall and 0-8 in district play. And tonight they'll be taking on the host team, Weslaco East, and they have a good season so far this year. They are 9-5 overall, and the Lady Wildcats 5-3 in district action. And coming up to bat is going to be a junior leading off, and we have Andrea Perez, and she is a shortstop, and she wears number 22. So we are about to get things underway, and we're glad to have everyone aboard with us tonight. And these teams did face each other earlier this season, and it was a 13-0 victory here for Weslaco East. And I believe, if memory serves me correct, the starting pitcher tonight, she threw a perfect game in that particular game. I think it went 5 innings. Ariana Lefty Cabrera, so we'll see how she does tonight. And we are going to be getting underway, and it is going to be a nice evening for baseball. A little bit chilly, but I don't think any more threat of rain, and it'll be in the 60s. And quickly, we have a couple of strikes, so it is 0-2. And, of course, we know Lefty has an ability to get her share of strikeouts. And, again, we have seen her do a good job in the past, and that is going to be a ball. She has a curve, also a changeup, and I believe her fastball might be around 55 miles an hour. Her changeup 47 miles an hour, so definitely good control too. Fun to watch, and we've seen her be able to hit the ball too, and gets off to a good start with a strikeout. So first batter out on strikes. Ivana Cortez, a senior, is next, and she wears number 12, and she is playing center field. She is one of the two lefties in the lineup, and she'll foul the first pitch back. Had a nice talk with their head coach before the game. And again, also a football coach, he told me. We met him earlier this year at a game. And that is going to be popped up. And it will be an out to second base. Pop out to second, so 2 quick outs. P4. And coming up next is going to be Andrea Zapata. She is a senior. Third base. Wears number 11. And again, a pop out to second. Called strike. Despite the weather, cool weather tonight, good turnout by the fans, glad to see them. And that is a swinging strike. 1-2 the count. Porter has a very small roster. Only 10 players suited up tonight. Besides the players that are starting, only reserve is Daisy Guzman. Of course, one thing they're glad about, and the last time I did a Porter game, they did not have their primary starting pitcher, rotator cuff injury. We're going to get to see Gabby Gonzalez tonight. She had been playing but not been able to pitch. And this will be about her third or fourth start. That is fouled back. Still 1-2. Leo Zamaripa, again, their head coach. We mentioned we had a nice conversation before the game. And that will be a hit just past the second baseman. Thrown back in by the right fielder. So first hit of the night, no perfect game this time, going to be taking place against Porter. Zapata gets to base. Cassandra Ornelas is next. Cleanup hitter. Where's number 1 and is the catcher? She is the other lefty, by the way, in the lineup. Cortez and Ornelas are the lefties playing tonight for Porter. And that ball popped up. And it is going to be, let's see if it's caught. A little collision there. And it is an out. And was that the third baseman or catcher that caught that one? Third baseman caught it for the out. So we have played a half inning, and there is no score here at Weslaco East against Brownsville Porter.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
And we are about to get underway here in the bottom of the first inning. No score so far. And, of course, Mercedes leads the district, by the way, District 32-5A. I believe right now they have a 7-2 record and a 6-0 in district play. And now we will get underway, bottom of the first. It's a ball. At bat is the shortstop, Melissa Cabrera, also a pitcher. Of course, her twin sister Ariana is the starter. She's a lefty, and Melissa is a righty. Her nickname's Emery. And by the way, her sister Ariana has a nickname too, Nana. So nickname is a big part of this team. We'll talk more about that as we go on. Right now, the count is 2-1. Again, bottom of the first. These teams did play earlier this year, at least once I remember, and it was a win, 13-0 for Weslaco East. That ball, chopper to third, long throw, and it will be a base hit, and on the errant throw, there'll be an error, and the runner will advance to second. So Melissa gets on again with a hit. Nana Cabrera is up, is what they call her. Ariana, the starting pitcher. So with her sister on second, lefty comes to the plate. And again, a hit and an error on that last play. As we get underway, Margera keeps the scoreboard, or actually keeps the keeps the score, and Sandra Gary is the scoreboard operator tonight. George Valdez, our PA announcer. And Mark, am I correct how I call that as far as a hit and an error? Okay. We see Emery could beat out the throw, even if it had been a good one, but it was an errant throw, went over the first baseman's head, and so she was able to advance to second. Able to advance to second on the error. And of course that error charged to the third baseman, Andrea Zapata. Count is now 1-2. Weslaco East has some power, to say the least. The first 6 girls in the lineup have hit home runs. Weslaco East has hit 17 as a team. So very impressive. And that is going to be a called strike. So a strikeout of Emery. Ceci Bautista is next. She is number 24 in the catcher. And I apologize, it was Nana that struck out. If I said it was Emery, it was actually Nana. Emery is at second. So 1 out. And that will be grounded foul. Ariel Lopez will be next. 1-1 the count. And that will be a C&I single between short and third, and that will drive a runner in. So first run of the ball game scores. Batista with an RBI single makes it 1-0 as Emery comes in from second. Cabrera, who started off the game with a single, advanced to second on an error, scores the first run. Of course, her sister Ariana, lefty Nana, she struck out, but again, we see a single there to score the first run of the ball game. Ariel Lopez is now up. And that is a strike, strike one. That is grounded down to third. Throw to second for 1 out. And runner easily gets to first. So that will be a force at second. And coming to the plate, number 13, Ambrosia Brodelin. Swinging strike, strike one. She plays right field. By the way, Lopez, number 5, plays left field, and she's on first base right now on the fielder's choice. Batiste, as we mentioned, forced out on the grounder. And that is a high fly ball, and that will be an out to right field. So we have played 1 inning, and right now it is Weslaco East in the lead over Brownsville Porter, 1-0.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
And of course now we'll see Porter come to bat, see if they can get anything going with their bats. And coming to the plate, we were talking about her, the pitcher. She's just a sophomore, number 21, Gabby Gonzalez, batting 5th in the order. Of course, in the first inning, Zapata got a single. So 1 hit for them. Also 1 hit so far for Weslaco East. And that was by Emery Cabrera to lead off the game. And that will be outside, ball 1. Talking to their coach before the game, he mentioned the fact that he feels his team is improving, even though they're still winless. He thinks they're coming along. That is 2-0. Leo Zamoripa, head coach of the Cowgirls. We mentioned he is a offensive line coach also for the football team. That is outside 3-0. And it's interesting, last night I broadcast a game over at Weslaco, a victory by Los Fresnos over the Weslaco boys, and their head coach, the visiting coach last night, Rene Morales, is a big Atlanta Braves fan. And that is going to be a ball 4. So we have a runner on to begin the top of the second, but we mentioned Rene Morales is a big Atlanta Braves fan in baseball, and also we found out that Leo, he is a big fan of the Braves too, and they're also good friends. That's interesting. So Gabby gets on to lead off the second inning, 4 straight balls. And coming up now, Annette Luna. She's a junior, shortstop. Actually, excuse me, first baseman. She wears number 6. And she is batting 6th. So again, Luna first base. Got a nice talk with Victoria Vasquez before the game, head coach of Weslaco East. And that is going to be off the glove of the second baseman, and both runners will be safe. So now we have runners at first and second, no out. And we'll ask Mr. Guerra, is that a hit or an error? It was an error, so he's going to score that an error, and since it was off the glove of the second baseman, I tend to agree. So an E4 that time. And again, Porter showing some life here early in the game. And that will be tapped to third, throw to first. Going to be an out, but the runners will advance. So 5-3 on the out. But it was a nice sacrifice play, getting runners in scoring position with just 1 out. So Anahi Viriel, the right fielder, number 5, gets credit for the sacrifice. And Anita Rodriguez, batting 8th in the order, will now come to the plate. Again, she plays second. Wears number 10 as a freshman. Viriel, by the way, was a junior. And the count is 0-1. That's going to be a bunt foul. The other day I was watching a game, I can't remember if it was a softball or baseball game, but the batter actually bunted, attempted to bunt with 2 strikes, and of course if you bunt foul with 2 strikes you're out. And I was kind of surprised to see that, but that did happen. I would be very surprised to see the batter try to bunt now. And that is going to be a called strike 3. So nice pitch that time by lefty. And that will be now 2 outs. Bottom of the order, Kayla Morales is now up. Where's number 4, a sophomore, and plays left field. So we'll see if lefty can get out of this with no damage. Has 2 strikeouts in the game so far. A little conference on the mound. Again, you want to be careful when you have runners in scoring position. So the discussion is over. Busy week in sports, by the way. Major League Baseball opened up today. I know ESPN was showing 4 games. The late one is actually going to be the Astros in Oakland taking on the A's. 0-2 the count right now here. Astros on the road to start this season. I know when they come home, I think at least currently they're going to allow 10,000 fans per game at Minute Maid Park. And that is going to be a called strike, and that is the end of the inning. No damage. And so we see after an inning and a half, it is Weslaco East leading Brownsville Porter 1-0. We begin the bottom of the second. And Dion Lopez will lead off for Weslaco East. The center fielder wears number 6. Now, she's got a nickname like a lot of the players. She's D-Money. So I like that. I like that. And her sister, of course, plays on the team, right? So, and I understand also we've had a couple players arrive late today because they were in the district track meet. Busy time we talk about in sports right now. A couple players for Weslaco East coming in late, but I guess they will be available to play tonight. And that is going to be a ball. And that was both the Cesada sisters, right? Am I correct? That came late, the track runners? Okay. So Giovanni is here right now. She's a sophomore. And so is Piper, who is listed as a catcher. And actually, Giovanni's a senior, I'm sorry, and Piper is a sophomore. But they are both here now. And they competed in the district track meet today. 2-1 is the count. Giovanni listed as a courtesy runner, Piper as a catcher. And that is going to be a bunt, and that could be successful. No, great play. Wow. I thought that was going to be a bunt single, but called out. So out 4-3. Magali Laraga now coming to the plate. Speaking of good third baseman, she wears number 9. She makes some good plays out there. And that time she'll foul down the right side. She is a junior. Oh, and 1 the count. Again, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the second. Weslaco East leads 1-0. As usual, these games will be scheduled for 7 innings. That's down to third. Again, another long throw, this time in the dirt. And I believe that'll be a single. And so we will now have a runner at first with 1 out. Piper Caceres. Now, she's just coming to the game, right? Did Piper just come in? Yeah, Piper did not originally start. Who was starting tonight? What's that? It's okay. Okay, so we have a substitution already. Piper comes in. Piper comes in. So who did she come in for? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused here because we have. Okay, Joisha O'Connor was the starter tonight, right? And Piper came in, so we made a substitution at, but it's second base? All right. So where's Piper playing now? We'll try to get this all straight out. Where's Piper playing right now? Behind the plate. So Piper's catching. And again, she will get a single, so we'll have runners on first and second. So Piper was not in the lineup handed to the umpire, right? And yet she did, though, come in right away, all right, because Piper, again, came late because of the fact that she was in the track meet. All right. A last-minute change. O'Connell started the game at second, but she's now out. So we're trying to get this all straightened out as best we can. But Piper does get a single. And that will be a foul. And then we'll be back to the top of the order here in just a moment. And now who is up right now? I just want to get this straight because we had some changes. All right, number 3 is batting right now. Jay Fig is put, right, Jay Fig? All right, thank you. So Jay Fig, and what position is she playing? Left field, all right. So Jay Fig, the left fielder, is up right now. Again, there were some last-minute changes due to the fact, as we mentioned, some track athletes came in the last minute from their meet, so we want to make sure we have the lineup correct. But Jay Fig is at bat right now. We do have that straightened out. She can play outfield or a courtesy runner. She's a sophomore. Where's number 3? And that is fouled. So we have runners on first and second. And am I correct? Also, both got on singles, right? There were no errors. All right, both are on singles, okay. Here is the pitch, and that will be tap foul. One out so far. 1-0, Weslaco East leads. And that will be tap foul down near the dugout on the third base side. That is where Weslaco East is located. Brownsville Porter in the dugout on the first base side. And that is going to be a called strike 3. So Fig strikes out. And then we have a throw to third, and that will be an out. So, Mr. Guerra, what do we have here? I'll get back. Let me just get through this through this inning. Give me just 1 second. And now we have gone through an inning and a half, and we've gone through 2 innings, and we have Weslaco East leading 1-0.
Before Christine McCleary was a physical therapist, she was an honor student at Weslaco ISD, played sports, and was a cheerleader. She graduated from Ohio State University, then physical therapy school at Texas State University. Now she is Dr. Christine McCleary at Triumph Therapy and part of the clinical faculty at UTRGV School of Medicine. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Christine McCleary, WISD was the right choice.
And we will go to the top of the third. And coming to bat, top of the order, number 22, Andrea Perez. She struck out her first time up. Again, 1-0 is the lead for Weslaco East. The Cowgirls, what are the Texas Rangers? Is that who I'm thinking of when I see their uniforms? I thought so. I'm not sure if that's still their uniforms. Look like the Edinburgh Bobcats too, Lady Bobcats. All right, that's going to be tapped to short. Throw to first. It's close. No. Okay. First baseman got pulled off the bag, and it's going to be a single. What's that? Yeah, I'd mark it as a hit. I'd mark it as hit. And I'll tell you why. I was just talking to Mr. Guerra, our official scorer. I would mark it as hit because the runner was moving quick down the base there. And it was a close play. Yeah, I would give it a hit. So we're going to go with a hit on that one? All right, just want to make sure. And that is going to be fouled. Again, Ivana Cortez fouls it back. Strike one. The infielder had to make a fast throw, and that pulled the first baseman off. So that's why I would give it a hit. That now will be a roller to first for one out. Throw to second. Is that a double play? Okay, not quite. Runner gets to second. Unassisted at first. Andrea Zapata comes out now. So the first baseman makes the out, unassisted, throws to second, but the runner gets there in time. So no double play. Swing and a strike. Who is our first base tonight? Again, we've had some changes here. Who's our first base tonight? Okay. All right. Cecilia Batista is the first baseman. Now, didn't she start out as catcher? Yeah. So Cece Batista is now the first baseman for Weslaco. She made the unassisted putout and tried to get the runner at second. Couldn't get the throw down at time. Obviously no error. Just a fielder's choice. But Cece did start out as catcher and has moved now to first base. So we've got that straight. And that'll be a foul ball, 0-2 the count. And I see Weslaco East has little daisies on their uniforms. I actually saw that the other night on some uniforms of some college players when I was watching a college game. 0-2 the count, one out, runner at second. Top of the third. Cowgirls at bat. And runner gets caught off base, and it looks like this is going to be an out. We'll have to wait and see. And the batter's tagged out, so too big a leadoff for the runner, and she gets caught off base. And we see that's going to be from the catcher to the second baseman, and then who finally did make the tag out? All right, so it was from the catcher to the second baseman to the third baseman who finally tagged out the runner. And that'll be the second out of the inning. And again, we now have the bases clear. And that is going to be a single just past first. And it's good they caught that runner. Possibly that could have scored. I don't know for sure, depending if they were doing hit and run. But that point is moot since the runner was just picked off. So Zapata gets on with a single. And Ornelas is up, right? Cassandra Ornelas. And she is the catcher. Where's number one? And that is going to be dropped in front of the right fielder. But the right fielder gets her out. What a throw from right to first. Ball fell in front of the right fielder, but she had the presence of mind to throw out the runner heading toward first. So we have played now 2 1/3 innings, and it is Weslaco East leading Brownsville Porter 1-0.
Before Danya Pulido became an attorney, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a member of the National Honor Society and a cheerleader. She earned her degree from St. Mary's University, then graduated from St. Mary's University School of Law. Now she is Danya Pulido, attorney at law for Texas Legal Services Center in Austin. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Danya Pulido, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
So, coming up, Emre Cabrera. She's also known as Melissa, known as righty. She pitches from the right side. Her sister, who's the starting pitcher tonight, Ariana, also known as Nana, pitches from the left side, is known as lefty. Do we get that all straight? There'll be a quiz after the game, all right, to know who all the nicknames are for the Weslaco East players. And I don't think Ashley Garcia's in here tonight yet. And we'll explain what we mean in a minute there. Her nickname is Ash Cash because I think she's money. I think she said she's money when she's in there. All right, she's going to score. She's going to get things done. I think that's what the coach told me. So it's cute, these nicknames. And she's a utility player, senior, that wears number 1. But back to the live action here. It's 0-1. We're on YouTube via KWES. And that is going to be a ball 1-1. And Emery got on with a single to lead off the bottom of the first for Weslaco East. And she will hit that ball hard, and that ball is going to roll to the wall, hit it down the left field line, bounced near the front of the warning track area, and she is going to get on with a double, so she is 2 for 2.
Walking up to the plate for the Lady Wildcats is number 16,
Nana is up now. Ariana Lefty Cabrera, our starting pitcher. We've seen her hit home runs before. Didn't she get a couple in that Weslaco game over there? She has some power, and we're going to see that. By the way, I was talking to Coach before I broadcast that game over at Weslaco, and even though Weslaco East lost that game 10-9 in 8 innings, it went to extra innings, that had to be one of the best performances, believe it or not, of the year for Weslaco East, even in a losing effort. It was tough to see either team lose that game. And that is going to be a ball 1. And these are twin sisters, right? So we have twin sisters, one on second, one at third. And what happened there? She's hit? Intentional walk. Okay, they're going to call that an intentional walk. And so Nana gets to first on an intentional walk. Ceci Bautista is now up. She has now moved to first base. Oh, Dash Cash is coming in to run? Ash Cash. Well, if she runs fast, she can be Dash Cash. I may have given her a new nickname. All right, if she gets in because of her speed in this inning, well, she'll be Ash Cash Dash Cash. How's that sound? I've created a nickname possibly. So, all right, so we were talking about Ash Cash, and she is now in as a runner for Ariana. So number 1, the senior, is at first base, and Emery is over at second. So base runners at first and second, no outs. And Batista up. She's hit a home run this season. We talked about that. And she had a couple interesting plays defensively last half inning. Had an unassisted out, and then the ball went into right. And Brody throw it to her for the third out. Very unusual where a right fielder is able to throw out a runner trying to make first base, a hitter, but she did. That was, again, a 9-3 putout, which you don't see too often. So the count is now 1-1. And once again, we want to say we have a nice pitching performance tonight for the Cowgirls. That's fouled back. Young lady who's been injured this season, had some arm problems, a sophomore, Gabby Gonzalez, doing a very credible job on the mound for Brownsville Porter. Count is 1-2. And that will be tapped to second. Second baseman can't handle it. And now a runner will score. And Emery comes in. Ash Cash gets to third. And Batista is on first. Would you call that an error? I would too. An error on the second baseman. So Batista gets on first on an error. And that again will be charged to Anita Rodriguez, the second baseman. And Melissa comes in and scores. And the pitch runner, Ash Cash, is now at third. Runners at first and third. And now we'll see if we are going to have a rundown. And we are. And now Ash Cash is going to get back to third, yes or no? No. So there's going to be out. We'll talk to our official score here in just a second. It's going to be a 4-2 out, so it's going to be so the stolen base is credited Batiste. Batista gets a stolen base. All right, Batista gets a stolen base, and then Ash Cash is out. How is she out? A 4-2 put out. Okay, so for people that don't understand that, 4 is the number given to the second baseman. So the second baseman will throw it over to the catcher, and the catcher got Ash Cash tagged, Ashley Garcia. So now there is 1 out, and we have a runner on second, and again, Batista will be credited with a stolen base after she got on through an error. And Ariel Lopez is up, and she'll hit the ball over the third baseman into left field, and that is going to be a double. Throw to the plate, and the runner is out. Batista is out at home plate. So we'll have Lopez on second, and Batista thrown out. Brody Lynn coming up. And if I'm correct, that is 7-2. All right, so the left fielder throws the ball in to the catcher, who tags out the runner. Cassandra Ornelas, the catcher, and she gets the throw from Kayla Morales. So we still have a runner at second. Is that going to be a single or a double? Credited to a double. So we will give a double right now to Lopez. Ariel Lopez gets a double, but no RBI when the runner is thrown out at the plate. Lopez, one of the leaders in batting average, by the way, for the team. That's a swinging strike. Just a freshman. Where's number 5? And the count is now 0-2. 0-2 the count to Lopez. I'm saying to Brody. Brody Lynn, not Brody Lopez, Brody Lynn. And that is going to be a high hit ball. And the left fielder misjudges it. I believe I would credit that as a hit. We'll see what our score says. But again, a double, and the runner comes in. Since the left fielder didn't touch it, I would say that was just an error in judgment, which can't be made an error because she never touched it, right? So, again, that'll be a hit. Had the left fielder touched the ball, you could have called it an error, but since she just misjudged it, we're going to give that a hit. Both Mr. Guerrero and I agree on that. So it's going to be an RBI, a 2-base hit for Lynn, right? And Lopez comes in. So Lynn gets the RBI. Lopez scores the run. And now we have Dion Lopez up, center fielder number 6. She is the older sister, am I correct, of Ariel? All right. So 1-0 is the count. Again, now the score is 3-0. 2 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for Weslaco East. And an unusual game, some unusual plays in this game, but it's fun to watch. And that is going to be hit over the second baseman's head. That is a clean single, and it's going to be actually stretched into a double, maybe a triple. We'll see. Ball thrown in, and trying to stretch a double into a triple doesn't work. Dion is tagged out, but the run scores before she's tagged out. So a 3rd run scores in the inning, and after 3 complete, it is Weslaco East. They are leading right now over the Cowgirls 4-0. So we are now going to the 4th inning, and Brownsville Porter will send up their pitcher as their leadoff hitter, Gabby Gonzalez, 5th in the order. And Gabby walked her last time up. Mark Garrett, do you feel like part of the broadcast tonight? So our official score, we've been going to him a lot. It's sort of like the NFL, right? Yeah, we should mic him up tonight. So, but I would definitely put a mute switch on. All right, if we disagreed on a call. No, I'm just teasing with you. Yeah, or maybe I'm not. It's April Fool's Day. You never know. All right, but all joking aside, no, Mark, this is kind of like the NFL, right, where they have a person like a retired official that kind of gives them advice on the calls. So you're not retired by any means, but you are very helpful. So that's going to be filed away. But I do that all the time when I go to the press boxes. I use the knowledge of the people here because a lot of them have covered, of course, obviously many more games than I have for their specific teams, and their wealth of knowledge is very useful, and I think adds to our broadcasts. So some people think it's just me trying to get out of work, but that's not the case. All right. So that is going to be a called strike, and Gabby strikes out. And coming up now is Annette Luna. And Annette, of course, I believe scored on her last bat. What did she do? I just want to get this. She got on an air and eventually scored, right? Okay, advanced on a sacrifice and scored, didn't she? No, did not? Okay. All right, so she got stranded on second. Okay, I want to get that straight. So she got on an error, on a sacrifice, got to second, but eventually that's where she ended up. And that is going to be past the glove of the first baseman. And even though the right fielder is playing in, they couldn't get her that time. Anehi Variel is next. Mark, did you see who actually threw that ball in to it was the right fielder? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the second baseman or the right fielder that threw that ball to first. But it was a single. It was a single. So Luna gets on a single. She's been on base both times tonight on an error and a single. Again, Variel is up. She had a sacrifice last time. 4-0. Weslaco East leads. 1 out. We are here in the top of the fourth. Game scheduled for 7 innings. Thank goodness weather's not a factor tonight. Were you all working last night here? It was a mess, wasn't it? The word is terrible. That's what I heard about the weather last night. That's what the crew tells me. And again, they've caught a runner in a rundown. This is about the third or fourth time this game we've seen runners caught in a rundown, and that's going to be a second out. So it went from the catcher to the first baseman to who? To the second base, to the shortstop. So, yeah, 2-1-6. And again, 2 is a catcher, okay. 1 is the pitcher. I'm talking about number-wise. And then shortstop is number 6. So eventually it was the shortstop that tagged out the runner. And that, of course, was Cabrera. And that is going to be a double this time in the gap between center and right. So Variel gets a double. Anita Rodriguez is up with 2 outs. She wears number 10, second baseman. And again, Emery eventually gets the out on the runner on that rundown on the play. And this time ball will roll toward first base. Second time today it's going to be an unassisted out by the first baseman. So we have now gone through 3.5 innings, and it is Weslaco East leading Brownsville Porter 4-0.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
What's that? She went 4 innings? Okay. It is now the bottom of the fourth, and that's a high hit ball, and it's a fly out to center. So, again, a fly out to begin the inning. That was, who was just batting? I'm sorry. Magali, all right. Magali Lagata just flied out to the center fielder, F8. And now the young lady that came in at the last minute is now coming up to bat. And she's doing double duty. She was in a track meet, a district track meet earlier today. Don't know how she did. We'll see if we can find out. Piper Casares is in. And do we ever determine what position she's playing? Catcher, right? Okay, she's playing catcher. And that's 0-2, 2 quick strikes against her. And we have 1 out. Piper, again, has hit a home run this year. I guess, how many home runs does she have? She has quite a few. Do I have correct? She has 9 home runs? Would that sound right? Coach told me that before the game. No, that's correct. Piper is the leading home run hitter for Weslaco East. She has 9 so far this season. And that's going to be outside. 2-2 is the count. So when you're looking for power, no wonder Piper gets in there. She's just a sophomore. Just a sophomore. And that is going to be a ball. Have we seen a 3-2 count yet tonight? I don't think we have. This may be the, yeah, I was just talking to Mark Guerra, our official scorer. This is the first 3-2 count we've seen on either team, I believe, tonight. So, again, pitchers have not been working deep in the count. That time, it is going to get past the shortstop and hit. The shortstop never actually touched the ball. You might say, well, the shortstop should have done a little better effort or whatever, but that's not how it works. Did not touch the ball, so it is a hit. So, again, nice job there to get on base. Is this Fig now? All right, so now we have Jay Fig at bat, and it's going to be a hit-and-run type situation. A stolen base, going to call it a stolen base. So we do have a runner on second with 1 out, a runner in scoring position. And a stolen base for Piper. Count is 0-1 to Jay Fig. Fig has struck out tonight. And that ball will be tapped. Pitcher has it, tries to throw the ball over the first baseman's head, and it would have been a bam-bam play. And so we are going to have a run scored. A runner scores right now. Piper comes in with a run. And we're going to call that a 2-base error. All right, on the third baseman. All right. 2-base error. And the runner, Fig, goes to second. 2-base error on the third baseman. And we're back to the top of the order. Emery Cabrera is at bat. Emery has a called strike. Emery has a single and a double so far tonight. Has scored both times. So she's enjoying the night. Again, not maybe her favorite night pitching last night, but she's making up for it at the plate today. And that is fouled. As we mentioned last night, rain shortened game just went 6. Ed Koch-Elsa in district action right here on this field defeated Weslaco East 9-5. 0-2 the count. A runner at second, just 1 out. 5-0, Weslaco East leads. That is low, 1-2. One thing, Mr. Guerra, as official scorer, you had to keep on your toes tonight. This is probably one of the tougher games to score, isn't it? Is it? A lot of different things happening, yeah. Again, if you're an official scorer and you're listening, or you do keep score, this is going to be what you consider a tougher type of game to score. I know some games are tough because you have so many players come in and out, so it's not tough in that way, at least not yet. But it's tough on the calls because we've got calls where 3 or 4 different throws are made because you're getting runners in rundowns and things like that, and unusual outs like a 9-3. And that is going to be popped up. Second baseman with the put out. Runner stays at second. So that is the first time tonight that Emery makes an out as she pops out to second. Nice job catching the ball at second base by Anita Rodriguez. Yeah, it was 2 for 2. Yeah, she got a single and double. And again, we have now Ariana Cabrera coming up. Lefty, our starting pitcher, Nana, again, trying to get all her nicknames in. We try. And she's going to hit that a high ball to left field. Left fielder gets it that time, and that is going to be the third out of the inning. So we have played now 4 complete, and it's 5-0. Weslaco East leading Brownsville Porter.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
The Cowgirls have played very well tonight, considering everything. I mean, they're not getting blown out tonight. This is no, mercy game. We're not seeing I think last time they played, it was 13-0, and it was Weslaco East winning, so I give a lot of credit to them. And I'm being real serious now. They're doing well. Now, who's batting? I'm sorry, I got off here. Number 4 is batting. Okay, I want to make sure we give credit to everybody here. And again, as we begin this half inning of play, and this is Kayla Morales. She struck out earlier, and now it's a 1-1 count. And we'll have to see tonight if Lefty will go all the way. Of course, righty, you mentioned pitched 4 innings. Did Lefty come in last night or not? Do you remember? Yeah, so Lefty pitched 2 innings last night, right? The final 2 innings. So Lefty has already pitched 6 innings the last 2 nights, and that is going to be a C&I single between first and second. Single into right field, and Morales begins the 5th inning with a hit, with a single, and that's now the top of the order coming back. Andrea Perez is up. She struck out and also singled in this game. And again, if you don't mind, Mr. Guerra, when we get to the next break, if you could give me the total number of hits for both teams when we get to the next break. Not right now, but at the break. And that's going to be a bunt, and it is going to be a sacrifice. Runner gets to second, and now it could be another rundown. No, the runner does get back to second. But was that a 2-3 that time, the out? 2-3 out. So catcher to first for the out, as Perez is credited with the sacrifice, getting Morales down to second with 1 out. And coming up now is Ivana Cortez, and she is a lefty, one of the 2 lefties in the lineup. Her and Ornelas are the 2 lefties batting tonight for Brownsville Porter, and she'll pop it up, and it will go to center field, and it's going to be F8 on that one. So a nice catch in center field that time by Dion Lopez. And now Andrea Zapata's up. She's singled twice tonight, I believe. Been on base both times. So she's been doing a nice job. And she comes to bat with a runner on second and 2 outs. And that is going to be a high fly ball down to center field. Center fielder gets back there and catches it, though, for the 3rd out of the inning. That was hit hard. I don't know if there's a warning track out there, but if it was, you'd say it'd be near the warning track in center field. And we now have played 4.5 innings. Weslaco East still ahead of Brownsville Porter's Cowgirls, 5-0.
East side, south side. East side, south side.
now we have Ceci Batista coming up. She's playing first base, started as catcher, but moved to first base. And she will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-0. She's batting number 2 in the order. Where's number 24? I'm sorry, number 3 in the order. I apologize. Number 3 in the order. And that is going to be a called strike to begin things. Again, appreciate the people here in the press box tonight. Sandra Gary doing our scoreboard. George Valdez, our announcer. And, of course, I've been talking to our official scorer tonight, Mike Guerra, quite a bit, because it's been one of those games where a busy night for an official score, not just putting down strikeouts or pop-ups, a lot of rundowns and things like that. Now that ball will be hit to right field, and it gets by the right fielder, and that is going to be at least a double. And it looks like Batista is going to get to third base, so it'll be a triple. It'll be a triple. And she was thrown out at home earlier in the game, if I recall. But this time, going to get to all the way to third base with a triple. Ariel Lopez is coming up next. No outs. And that would have been the ninth hit for Weslaco. So if Ariel can get a hit, they'll be in double digits for the night hit-wise. We're in the 5th inning. And that is going to be hit hard, but it is in good position for the left fielder to catch. Batista will tag up and score, so Ariel Lopez gets an RBI, and Batista comes in. Ambrosia, better known as Brody Lynn, coming up next. She has a 2-base hit tonight. And again, no runners on base, but now a 6-0 lead. And that will be tapped to short. Good clean play by the shortstop. Throw to first, textbook, and that is the out. So nice job that time on the throw from Andrea Perez to Annette Luna at first base. And a 6-3 out as Lynn makes the second out of the inning. Dion Lopez, number 6, our center fielder, is next. D-Money, again, her nickname. And she will hit it high towards center field. Well played, and the center fielder has it, and that will end the 5th inning. But there is 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We have played 5 complete, 6-0. Weslaco East over Brownsville Porter.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
Coming up to bat, we have Cassandra Ornelas, and she, of course, is one of the 2 lefties, and she is the catcher. The other lefty in the lineup tonight is Cortez. So far, all the way for our lefty, Nana Ariana Cabrera, pitched 2 innings last night in the loss, the last 2 innings of the game that was shortened to 6 by rain, and the loss to Ed Koch Elsa. But she's looking strong all the way. And again, she's had her share of strikeouts. Unofficially, I have her down right now for at least 3 strikeouts. And let us see if she can continue making those outs. But that time a hit to center. So a single to open up the 6th inning. It was a 2-0 count. Gabby Gonzalez, the pitcher, is up right now. Gabby has walked in this game. So remember, there's only 9 players tonight eligible to play for Brownsville Porter. Only player on the bench is Daisy Guzman, number 24. So no depth tonight. And that is going to be outside. Ball one. Wind, of course, blowing. It seems like most games we've done this year, wind has been a factor out there. We've seen some balls hit pretty deep. No home runs tonight. We mentioned, of course, Weslaco East has 17 of them, led by Piper Casares with 9. And that is going to be a called strike, 2-1. Not sure if we might see Emery come in tonight. She pitched 4 innings last night. I should have asked Coach that before the game, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, Victoria Vasquez, head coach for East, has coached 8 seasons. Last 4 as head coach. 2-2 the count. Actually 3-2 or 3-1. 3-1, okay. It's 3-1 count. And that is going to be tapped toward the pitcher. Nice toss to first. Runner tries to lean the wrong way off a second, but got back in time. So we have a 1-3 putout. Runner at second now. And Annette Luna coming to plate. Again, our umpires tonight doing a nice job. Plate umpire, Tavo Beltran. And working the bases, Gus Elizondo. Remember, just 2 umpires here for girls softball. Top of the 6th again. Weslaco East leading 6-0. Called strike. Again, a runner at second, 1 out. That ball foul. That was close to going in the dugout of Brownsville Porter. You know, actually almost hit the coach, right? I almost hit the first base coach, but he looks okay. Yeah, he's good and limber. It looks like he's good and limber. He can move. Now I know Leo on the third base side. He's a little bigger. He may not move quite as fast if that ball came near him. All right. That ball foul back. But what do you expect? Leo's going to be bigger. He's an offensive line coach. So we have 0-2. One out. Weslaco East trying to improve to 6-3 tonight in district play. And that's going to be a ball. 1-2. Brownsville Porter trying to get their first win of any type this year. And that ball hit into center field in front of the center fielder. And we are going to have the runner at second advance to third. So hard hit, sharply hit to center. Runner was not able to score from second. And now Luna with her, I believe, at least second hit of the night. And we now have coming to the plate. It will be Veriel. Yep. Yeah. Little conference right now between their head coach and his batter, seeing what they want to do. Anahi Veriel. She is the third baseman. Where's number 9? A junior. Of course, we're in the middle of March Madness. Mark Few may get his first national championship victory if Gonzaga goes all the way, their men, no one's gone undefeated on the men's side in the NCAA tournament since Indiana in 1976. That's back when Bobby Knight was the head coach. And had a lot of good players back on that team. I remember Scott May was one who later played for the Chicago Bulls. I believe Quinn Buckner was on that team. Strike one. And the women's side, Stanford, I think some people have them being favored. Their head coach won a national championship in 1992 and has not won since. If she would win, that would be the longest gap in the men or women's brackets of one national championship and then the second one. Again, remember, she has not won a national championship, the Cardinals, since 1992. 0-2 the count. UConn looked good the other night beating Baylor. Of course, I think there were fouls not called at the end of the game. It was just a physical game. The referees wanted to play that way. But UConn, for the 13th straight year, under Coach Ariema, makes the Final Four. It's a shame Baylor and them weren't playing either in the championship game or at least in a Final Four game. But, again, it was an Elite Eight game, and both those teams deserve to be in the Final Four. But I have a feeling that if UConn wins this year, they still have a young team. They may win the national championship for the next couple of years. All right, that is going to be lined into right field. And we are going to see a run score. So a run scoring single, and is now 6-2. Excuse me, 6-1. First run of the game, 6-1. Anita Rodriguez comes up. Variel gets the RBI. Perez scores. Still runners on first and second with one out. So a little life in the later innings right now for Brownsville Porter. At least a moral victory as they get a run on the scoreboard. Trail 6-1. Getting ready for the top of the order here. And that ball is going to be hit down the right field line, just inside the foul line. Again, sharply hit. So the runners were not allowed to score, but give Morales the hit. Excuse me, that was Rodriguez. I'm sorry, back is Morales up now. So Rodriguez gets the single. Morales at bat.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
There's been some other movement too, I believe. All right, that's it. So Ashley Ashcash Garcia, number one, a senior, is at shortstop because Cabrera, we're talking about righty, Emre has come in to pitch. And we'll see where Ariana is. Okay, and lefty went to left field. So is anybody out? We'll see if anybody got taken out of the game. Someone must have gotten taken out, isn't there? Because if Ashcash came in, we'll try to speculate when we can, but we believe someone had to come out if Ashcash is in there. So, all right. So we now have one out. We are in the, are we in the 6th or 7th? I want to make sure I got the 6th. I thought so. Okay, we're in the 6th inning. And Emery's in pitching. Emery, righty Cabrera, who pitched 4 innings last night, got the loss against Edcach Elsa, is in to pitch. Facing Morales. So her sister goes a 5 1/3 innings, gives up 1 run. She'll be responsible for the 3 runners on base right now. 1-1 the count. Again, hypothetically, if this batter hit a grand slam, it would be just a 1-run lead for Weslaco. And that ball will be tapped towards short. Shortstop has it, throws to second for the out. So it is a 6-4 out, but a runner scores from third. Still runners at first and third with 2 outs. So Andrea Perez is in. Did Veriel come in? Who actually scored? I want to make sure I have that right. Luna, I'm sorry. Luna came in. So Luna scores. And we're back to the top of the order. Morales will be credited with an RBI, I believe. And Perez is at bat. So 2 runs already in here in the 6th. Ball 1. Runners on the corners. Top of the order, 1 out. Perez does have a hit in this game, and she'll pop it up. I don't think it'll stay in play. No, hits the roof of the dugout on the first base side. Again, 6-2, Weslaco East, leading Brownsville. Porter beat them earlier this year, 13-0. And I believe it was a 5-inning perfect game for Lefty. But if her sister can get the save tonight, Lefty will get the win. Ball inside, 2-1. Ivana Cortez would be next. That'll be popped up. Catcher tries to go back for it, but winds up in the stands. 2-2. Appreciate everybody coming out, supporting girls softball here at Weslaco East. And that is going to be a strike, and that actually is going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So in that inning, 2 runs, and right now, after 5.5, it's Weslaco East leading Brownsville Porter 6-2.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Michaela Perales now in. This will be her first at bat. She is a freshman. Where's number 20? Who is she in for, Mr. Guerra? Okay, so she came in for Magali Lagata. Magali had been playing third base. And that is going to be pop foul. So we'll have to see if we have a number of substitutes come in during this half inning. Again, I remember when I worked in some leagues, the balls, of course, you have to return them in. And sometimes when I've worked in some leagues, not in high school, but in the major league, or I should say major league, in minor league level, you get a hot dog or something if you return the ball. But again, couldn't afford to do that at the high school level. So it's 2-1 the count. I know they have an announcement here where if you get the foul ball, you return it over to the home dugout. 3-1 the count. You can hear the fans maybe in the background. Always a lot of enthusiasm at high school games, whether we're here at Weslaco East or across town at Weslaco. And that is going to be a ball. And we open up the bottom of the 6th with a runner. Now, we'll see if they have any more substitutes. No, Piper Cáceres is in the game. Again, we mentioned earlier she was at the track meet, the district track meet. Was not actually in the original starting lineup, came in very quickly though. And pickoff attempted first. Ball gets loose, but no way the runner can advance. 6-2 the score. April 1st, April Fool's Day. I wonder if people do that much anymore where they try to trick people on April Fool's Day. I remember that was big when I was growing up. I know, it's kind of funny. There was an old saying, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. And that was kind of true yesterday. It was warm, though very rainy later on in the day. But this reminds me more of a blustery February day today. I know probably a lot of fans today, being where we live when they get home tonight, they're probably going to turn on the Astros game. That's on ESPN. They're on the road against Oakland. Opening day of Major League Baseball. That is going to be a roller past the shortstop. Slow roller. Shortstop couldn't get a glove on it, so we have runners on first and second. No outs.
Stepping up to the plate for the Lady Wildcats is number 1, Garcia.
So Ash Cash Garcia is up. This is her first at bat, right? Yeah. And what is she playing again? Position, I apologize. She's playing what? First, okay. What's that, first? Shortstop, I'm sorry. Yeah, she came in as short, that's right, when they made the pitching change. So when Emery came in for Nana, Ash Cash came in as short. Maybe they just should give every player a nickname on this team, all right? There's so many of them. Then we wouldn't have to even give any kind of regular names. Yeah, just call them all by their nicknames. That just like real short nicknames, and that's all we'd have to do. So, who knows? Maybe that'll be an idea. So yeah, and they're already working on it. The press box crew is already coming up with nicknames for everybody on Weslaco East. 1-1 the count. Ash Cash, by the way, is a senior, listed as a utility player. She also at times is a courtesy runner. 6-2 the score. Runners on first and second. There's a little slap hit over the shortstop, and that will load the bases. Misplayed by the left fielder, and that will score a run. So a run comes in, and it is now 7-2. 7-2. As Parales, who just came in the game, Michaela, will score. Is there an RBI on that hit or not? So we'll let you think about that for a minute. So now, Emery Cabrera, top of the order, is up. Most importantly, if you're a Weslaco East fan, a run is in and there was a hit. Okay, so the official score here says there was a hit, and that was obvious, but because of the misplay on the ball, no RBI. I think that was a good call. We'll go with that. So it is now 0-1. And again, Cabrera up. She's 2 for 3 tonight. Has a single and a double. And now in is the pitcher. Started off as a shortstop. Inside. 1-1. Still no outs. As far as our visitors, going all the way so far has been Gabby Gonzalez. And that is hit well into the night sky, but foul down left field. down the lines, each side it's listed as 198 feet to the foul poles. 1-2 the count. That ball's high, 2-2. Full count, 3-2, and that may be the only second time tonight we've seen a full count in this game. Not been many. What's that? Second full count tonight. We have just learned. Appreciate that from Mr. Guerra, our official scorer, Mark Guerra. All right, let's see what happens here. And that ball is going to be inside, gets by the catcher, but I don't believe a runner will try to score. No, a runner will. And is that going to be an out? Yes. Unassisted, the catcher tags out the runner trying to score on the wild pitch. So that is going to be an out. Am I correct on that? Yes. All right, so we do have an out, one out, first out of the inning. And Nana is now coming up. And Piper was tagged out at the plate, unassisted by the catcher that time. A nice job by the catcher, Cassandra Ornelas, makes the first out of the inning for Brownsville. And we see a pitch runner coming in. I guess somebody's coming in for righty. All right, so Joisha Ocanis, am I saying that right? Joisha Ocanis is now the pitch runner. She started the game, I believe, today before they made the quick switches. I think she was the starting second baseman, wasn't she? And then she came out when Piper came in after coming back from the track meet. And now she is in as a pinch runner. 7-2 the lead. One run in so far here in the sixth inning for Weslaco East. We have runners at second and third, one out. So runners in scoring position. Nice to have some insurance runs if you're a Weslaco East fan, so hopefully righty can close it out in the bottom of the seventh, and this game will be over, and a win, a district win for the Lady Wildcats. Infielders playing in. Bunt stance, called strike, 3-1. Can't blame the runner for taking, the batter for taking with a 3-0 count. That may be one of the, maybe that probably was the first 3-0 count we've seen tonight. Close to it. Haven't been many. And that will be a walk. So the bags are jammed. So Nana walks. Ceci Batista up, playing first. Originally was catcher. That got moved to first very quickly. And Weslaco East has scored in every inning but the second. 1 in the first, 3 in the third, and 3 runs in the last 3 innings, 1 in the fourth, fifth, and sixth. 1-0 is the count. Have we had any grand slams this year? Okay, we have, so potential lays there for another one. And that is going to be a nice hit into the gap between center and left. That'll score at least 2 runs, maybe 3. We'll see. No, 2-run double. 2-run double that time. So 2 runs come in that time. Garcia came in. Ariel Lopez now up. So 2 runs scored on Batista's double. An intentional walk. So that'll load the bases again.
Next at bat for the Lady Wildcats is number 13.
O'Canis came in just a moment ago, and so did Garcia. And now the intentional walk. Coming to the plate with the bases loaded is Brody, Ambrosia Lynn. She's had a double tonight, so she can get an extra base hit, and that might clear them. 9-2 the score. So twice in this game, in a individual inning, Weslaco East has scored 3 runs in the third and now here in the 6th. And that is going to be over the second baseman's head. That will score a couple runs. That's going to be a double. 2 more runs come in. So we see Batista coming in, and also lefty. It is now a 5-run inning, and 11-2, we see Weslaco East leading. So we have runners at second and third, and that is going to be a bunt foul. Dion Lopez up to bat, the center fielder. Fans having a good time on this game tonight, enjoying it. If you're a fan of the Lady Wildcats, Ariel Lopez over at third right now, following the double. And that is going to be a bunt single. And the run comes in. It is now 12-2. And now, will this be a 10-run mercy rule? All right, so that is going to be the end of the ball game. Weslaco East is going to defeat Brownsville Porter, second time this year, 12-2 the score. And Weslaco East now improves to 10-5 overall and 6-3 in conference play. Brownsville Porter drops to 0-9 in their play so far in conference. Thanks to Adrian DeLeon, again working as on-site producer, and Vinny Berry as our videographer. I'm Scott Harrison saying so long from Weslaco East. Final score, Lady Panthers over Brownsville Porter 12-2. Have a very happy and safe Easter weekend, everybody. This has been a K-West production.